Good afternoon, dear EARTO members and partners. I hope you had a beautiful networking lunch. And now we are running the afternoon, the last sessions. First we will have the introduction of the Minister of Science and Innovation of Spain, Diana Moran. Please, the floor is yours.
Empezaré por los saludos. La Secretaria General de Innovación del Gobierno de España, el presidente de la Asociación Europea de Organizaciones de Investigación y Tecnología, EARTO, al saliente y al nuevo presidente de la Red de Institutos Tecnológicos de la Comunitat Valenciana, la Red REDIT, a la Directora General de Planificación, Coordinación y Transferencia del Conocimiento del Gobierno, al presidente del Consejo de Cámaras de Comercio de la Comunitat Valenciana, querido Vicente, presidentas y presidentes ejecutivos de centros tecnológicos que nos acompañáis de toda Europa, de toda España, resto de autoridades, medios de comunicación, señoras y señores, muy buenas tardes. La verdad es que lo veníamos comentando. Es un honor para nuestro país ser epicentro del impulso investigador y tecnológico europeo al acoger como sede esta conferencia anual de EARTO. En nombre del Gobierno de España, os doy las gracias por elegirnos y felicito al equipo de la Red de Institutos Tecnológicos de la Comunidad Valenciana por la excelente organización de estas jornadas. Y también quiero felicitar a Jesús Valero, al director general de Tecnalia, el mayor centro tecnológico de nuestro país, que ayer mismo fue elegido presidente de EARTO. Jesús, estamos de enhorabuena contigo. Tu nuevo liderazgo al frente de la agrupación de los principales centros tecnológicos de toda Europa es sin duda una garantía, están en buenas manos, pero también es un hito para nosotros como país y una muestra del gran talento que tenemos en España. Es un orgullo y una oportunidad acoger la conferencia anual de EARTO precisamente aquí en Valencia, en mi tierra, una comunidad abierta, valiente y emprendedora que, como ustedes saben, hace 5 meses sufrió la peor catástrofe natural que se ha conocido tanto en España como en Europa. No podemos olvidar que aquí mismo, a pocos kilómetros de esta magnífica playa y de esta sala, una dana se llevó 228 vidas, arrasó decenas de pueblos y el horizonte y la forma de vida y el día a día de muchísimas personas, de miles y miles y miles de personas. La dana nos ha dejado, por tanto, muchas ausencias, la ausencia de las propias vidas que se han perdido, la ausencia también de actividad económica en un espacio territorial muy dinámico y también nos ha dejado mucho dolor. Un dolor que no olvidaremos como sociedad, un dolor que desde luego las víctimas no olvidarán nunca. De hecho, no debemos olvidar nunca el dolor por el que han pasado. Pero también nos ha dejado mucha esperanza, la esperanza de una sociedad que se organiza para volver a salir adelante, la esperanza de una sociedad y de unos servicios públicos que atienden a las personas cuando lo han perdido todo. Y ahora esa esperanza se tiene que convertir en soluciones para que estas personas, las víctimas de la dana, alcancen la normalidad, una nueva normalidad en sus municipios con esperanza, que es siempre una obra colectiva y que ha de encontrar su fuerza en una de las grandes lecciones que ya nos dejó en nuestro país la pandemia, que es la integración de nuestras capacidades científicas e innovadoras en la respuesta que siempre tenemos que ofrecer a la ciudadanía. Probablemente no les podemos asegurar a la ciudadanía que podamos parar las crisis. Hay crisis que son imparables, la pandemia, el impacto de la guerra, ¿no?, a las puertas de Europa y la crisis inflacionaria que vino con ello, o ahora mismo la dana. No podemos parar a veces el agua, no podemos parar un fuego, pero sí que es importante la respuesta que demos a todo ello. Primero, a través de la prevención ante todas las crisis, escuchando a la ciencia, pero después también en esa respuesta con capacidad de transformación que se le puede dar. De la pandemia hace 5 años, y la ciencia y las tecnologías salvaron vidas e impidieron que se parara el mundo, y salvaron, por tanto, también la economía y la forma de vida de la gente. Hoy la sociedad española ha constatado que una de las principales fortalezas que nos ayudó precisamente a levantarnos y a salir mejor de la crisis fue un esfuerzo común anclado en la I+D+I, una inversión en ciencia e innovación sin precedentes en la historia de nuestro país. Somos el segundo país de la Unión Europea que más fondos de recuperación ha destinado a la I+D, el segundo, como eje de nuestra doble transición ecológica y digital. Y esa apuesta histórica, que ya de por sí es el cambio de receta, ¿no?, de la anterior crisis, la crisis financiera, la receta fue la de la austeridad y los recortes. Nos dejó una España recortada, una Europa recortada, una Europa que perdió una década en muchas tecnologías, a una receta completamente distinta, la de la movilización de dinero público con el impacto social y económico que este tiene. Y esa nueva respuesta, a través del Plan de Recuperación, Transformación y Resiliencia, a través de una Europa que quiso salir junta de la crisis de la pandemia, está obteniendo resultados. Hoy somos un país más competitivo. El Plan de Recuperación, Transformación y Resiliencia quería que nos recuperáramos de manera transformadora y que fuéramos más resilientes. Y creo que debemos echar una vista atrás para ver si estas premisas se han cumplido, ¿no? Somos un país más competitivo, sí, más resiliente, más próspero, con mayor capacidad para encarar con éxito futuras crisis, nuevas crisis. Hoy estamos ya sumergidos en una nueva crisis desde anoche, que hace 5 años. Somos la economía avanzada que más crece en el mundo, la que más trabajo crea de la Unión Europea. 1 de cada 3 nuevos empleos que se generan en la Unión Europea se generan aquí en nuestro país. Hoy hay más personas trabajando que nunca en España, más mujeres que nunca, más jóvenes que nunca y más personas que nunca empleadas en I+D en nuestro país. Quiero destacar otro dato histórico y desde luego magnífico que conocimos ayer, que es el de que ya tenemos a más mujeres que nunca trabajando en nuestro país, con 10,1 millones de trabajadoras. España es también la economía europea que más productividad por hora ha ganado desde el año 2019. Es decir, que además el crecimiento es un buen crecimiento. El único país europeo en el que los salarios reales superan los niveles previos a la pandemia. El único. Somos motor económico de la Unión Europea. Aportamos el 50% del crecimiento de la eurozona, una cantidad impresionante teniendo en cuenta que solo representamos el 10% del PIB, pero aportamos el 50% del crecimiento. Además, hemos impulsado las energías verdes. Esto ha contribuido a que hoy el precio de la energía ya no sea una debilidad, sino una ventaja competitiva para nuestra industria, la nuestra y la que viene y se asienta en nuestro país. Y si he empezado con esta radiografía general sobre la situación actual de España, es porque tenemos que saber, ¿no?, identificar nuestras fortalezas por responsabilidad, para que se entienda por qué nuestro país, que está encabezando un crecimiento económico europeo más verde y justo, se siente apelado en la mejora de la competitividad de la Unión Europea. Como les vengo diciendo, este éxito de país no se puede entender sin la apuesta y la inversión récord del Gobierno de España en I+D+I, también en colaboración público-privada. Y es un éxito que parte de una premisa irrefutable, como señala siempre nuestro presidente, el presidente Pedro Sánchez. Una mejor España pasa por una mejor Europa, más fuerte y más unida. Una Europa más integrada también y muy especialmente en torno a nuestros recursos y capacidades científicas y tecnológicas. La investigación y la innovación son un potente instrumento para avanzar como sociedad, no solo para trabajar al servicio de unas élites. Ese no es nuestro modelo. Europa no niega la ciencia, no desprecia a su comunidad científica, ni secuestra las tecnologías. Al contrario, somos la Europa de la razón, la Europa ilustrada y democrática. Nuestra comunidad científica siempre ha empujado las fronteras del conocimiento. Confiamos en la ciencia y la ponemos al servicio de la ciudadanía europea y de una prosperidad compartida, al servicio de los retos, las oportunidades y las amenazas comunes en todos los países, desde el cambio climático, la lucha contra la desinformación, superar enfermedades como el cáncer, superar las desigualdades o ahora también sobrevivir a esta guerra de aranceles. Y ahora necesitamos más investigación básica y orientada, aplicada, que fomente una tecnología europea para impulsar la economía y también para defender el planeta, nuestras sociedades democráticas, nuestro estado de bienestar, nuestra seguridad y los valores que nos definen como el continente más civilizado del mundo. Sabemos que sin tecnología europea no hay competitividad europea, como bien reza el título de esta jornada. Y sin tecnología europea tampoco habrá autonomía estratégica. Y sabemos también que asegurar esa autonomía estratégica pasa por 3 compromisos ineludibles. Invertir más en I+D, acercar más y mejor la ciencia a las empresas y estrechar la colaboración europea en materia de innovación. Es muy importante promover una mayor colaboración entre centros tecnológicos europeos trabajando en objetivos similares y también entre distintos ecosistemas regionales de la Unión Europea. Y en este sentido, instituciones como EARTO sois fundamentales. Con esa visión, desde España hemos propuesto la creación de un laboratorio europeo de competitividad. Se trata de un nuevo instrumento para acelerar la puesta en marcha de soluciones innovadoras que mejoren la vida de la ciudadanía europea y ha tenido muy buena acogida por parte de los Estados miembros y de la Comisión Europea. Este Laboratorio Europeo de Competitividad es solo una de las propuestas de un país que está apostando como nunca por la deseada transferencia de conocimiento para garantizar el futuro. Y en este proyecto, los centros tecnológicos cobráis un nuevo y gran protagonismo. Sin centros tecnológicos difícilmente habrá innovación empresarial, desarrollo local o cohesión social y territorial. Vosotros vertebráis y mejoráis el país en todos los sentidos. Es una realidad, os distribuís por toda la geografía, aquí en España, generando futuro allí donde echáis raíces. Sois ese eslabón clave en la cadena de la innovación, conectando el conocimiento científico con las empresas y las necesidades de la sociedad. Por ese motivo, en esta legislatura, que entendemos que nuestro gran objetivo es la transferencia del conocimiento, estamos reforzando como nunca a los centros tecnológicos porque no sois solo puentes, sino una red de progreso fundamental para el país. Así lo hemos entendido también desde el CEDETI, nuestra Agencia Pública de Financiación a la Innovación Empresarial. El CEDETI acaba de poner en marcha un nuevo plan estratégico centrado en mejorar las conexiones entre los agentes del ecosistema de la innovación y facilitar la financiación de la I+D en nuestro sector productivo. Con un objetivo claro: aumentar las empresas innovadoras en nuestro país, ayudando a más empresas a sumarse a la cultura de la innovación, que es la gran asignatura que tenemos pendiente. Y para eso es clave vuestro papel. Juntos hemos de acercar las tecnologías especialmente a nuestras pymes, a las pequeñitas, para que sean también innovadoras, aprovechando sinergias y evitando duplicidades. Esta es la razón de ser de iniciativas como el programa Red Cervera para Centros Tecnológicos, que pusimos en marcha ya en el año 2019. Con este programa, lo sabéis, hemos financiado la creación de consorcios formados entre 3 y 5 centros tecnológicos de excelencia que os aliáis para trabajar en colaboración durante un periodo de 2 o 3 años en el desarrollo de tecnologías prioritarias. En la última convocatoria Cervera contamos con un presupuesto de casi 40 millones de euros y está teniendo un impacto bastante positivo. Lo acredita un estudio de evaluación de la Federación Española de Centros Tecnológicos. Cervera ya está generando empleo, riqueza y nuevos modelos de colaboración que van a perdurar en el tiempo. Y permítanme que, para terminar, destaque otra iniciativa pionera en nuestro país que redunda en esta nueva gobernanza en red de la I+D española. Les podría comentar también las misiones, incluso las hemos llegado a llamar transmisiones para que fueran misiones que todavía más incentivaran la transferencia de conocimiento. Pero les quiero hablar de los planes complementarios, que así su nombre tampoco nos dice mucho, pero que con el Plan de Recuperación, Transformación y Resiliencia es un nuevo instrumento que nació en el año 2021 y ha sido tan bueno que lo hemos incorporado y está ya por ley para que se quede para siempre. Estos planes lo que han hecho es poner a trabajar juntos, crear redes entre el Estado, comunidades autónomas diferentes, administraciones, empresas, centros de investigación, centros tecnológicos de diferentes comunidades, hablando y trabajando en el desarrollo de tecnologías estratégicas para afrontar los desafíos actuales. La Comunidad Valenciana, por ejemplo, participa en 5 planes complementarios en ámbitos tan relevantes como la comunicación cuántica, la agroalimentación, las ciencias marinas, los materiales avanzados o la astrofísica y la física de altas energías. En proyectos de I+D+I que van a movilizar casi 39 millones de euros solo aquí en la Comunidad Valenciana, de las cuales el Gobierno ha aportado 24. Y les avanzo que, como nos han gustado los planes complementarios y esta dinámica, vamos a crear en esta legislatura un plan complementario de transferencia. Lo estamos diseñando junto a las comunidades autónomas y queremos dar ese impulso de más, que centre el foco en la transferencia del conocimiento como palanca de desarrollo territorial, como motor de una industria más competitiva y de empleo de calidad para nuestras y nuestros jóvenes, vivan donde vivan. Como ven, España está asumiendo un nuevo rol de Estado emprendedor que reivindica el liderazgo público de unas tecnologías que han de ser éticas, inclusivas y responsables, porque nunca las tecnologías habían afectado tanto a absolutamente todos los aspectos de nuestra vida. No solo son unas herramientas para afrontar problemas, sino que están transformando nuestras capacidades y nuestra percepción también de la realidad. Nos están ayudando a entender e interpretar el mundo que hoy habitamos y también representan una herramienta para cambiar a mejor el mundo que habitamos. Podemos hacerlo. Ahora es el momento. Estamos preparados. Tenemos voluntad, fuerza y talento y esta sala es la prueba. Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much, Minister, for these useful insights and for demonstrating the passion for science and technology that you have and that your government have in order to create the right environment for our country and take the place that we deserve in the European Union. Okay, so now let's proceed to the next step of the EARTO meeting. We have a round table, and let me introduce you to José Moisés, the General Manager of the CDTI, that is going to be in charge.
Okay. So, thank you, Minister. So, thank you very much to all of you. It's a pleasure for me to be here. It's my first time. I hope that this will not be the last time. No. But I would like to share with you what is the situation now in Spain concerning the technology transfer, and mainly aim it in the case of how are we going to cooperate with the EARTOs. So, this is me. Are we living in an Sputnik moment at this moment? I think so. I think that at the end of the 50s, in the United States, the people of America was impressed about the technology of the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union launched the Sputnik. The Sputnik was in the sky. Today, our Sputnik are on the roads. So we are living our own Sputnik moment. So at that moment, that Sputnik moment in the United States generated a revolution in science and technology. And are we going to generate this revolution in Europe? So we are in this general framework. We are all the day talking about the letter report, the Draghi report, the competitiveness compass, the European Green Deal, and also the STEP platform. So we have all these instruments, and this is clear for us. And this is also clear for Spain. But we have to understand what are the elements that we have to tackle in order to face this challenge. Investment in human capital, for sure. Physical investment in tangible assets as well, and investment in intangibles. And I will stress this point in my presentation. So we have different challenges in Spain. All of these challenges are shared with the European Union, are not very different. The first one is we are in some kind of intermediate technology trap. That means that our main technological sectors are those of intermediate technologies, are not very disruptive. So this is one of the key elements that we have to face. The second one is that we have a problem with a challenge with the technology transfer. We are a science world power, but we need to transfer this knowledge to the industry, to the market. We have a problem, and this is also remarked by Professor Draghi. We have a problem with the scaling of the tech companies. Spain at this moment is one of the most dynamic ecosystems in the European Union concerning startups, but we don't have too much scale-ups. We don't have too much unicorns. And we have the density of our innovative fabric, our innovative model, is highly concentrated in medium and large companies. We have a problem with the ESMEs, as the Minister said before. So we have to work with a new strategy, and this is our strategy from the CDTI. The first one is, what are the factors that we have to push in order to generate a new technology transfer to the industry? The first one is the market competition. We know that too much competition will kill innovation, but we also have that too few competition will kill innovation as well. So we have to find the sweet point sweet spot of competition. Second one, we need robust demand. We need demand for innovation. The supply side innovation is not enough. We know that this is not enough. The third one is that we have to be open to the international trade, and this is a problem today, specifically today. Without international trade, innovation is in danger. We have to strengthen our mechanism for protecting industrial property, and we have to develop our financial systems. We have, at the European level, we have it's not too deep, our financial system. That means that most of our startups, if they want to scale up, they are going to the United States. So much more. We need access to knowledge and specialized human capital. The talent is the key, always, period. And this is also relevant, the cultural aspects, risk perceptions, failure, how are we evaluate the failure in the business, social sanction and narratives related to innovations. And this is really relevant. This is really relevant. And finally, the existence of networks and support structures, consulting, technological centers, universities, peer networks, access to technological infrastructure. This is also really relevant. And for that, I would like to share with you this is the evidence for the social science. What are the key elements which defines a real innovative society. Basic and regulatory infrastructures, financial system, human capital, and so on. The innovation ecosystem, what is the density, what is the level of performance of this ecosystem, but also the political economy issues. And this is really relevant for the European Union. What are the most innovative societies in the world? The most innovative societies in the world are those societies without distributive problems, They don't have an issue in the distribution of the income, social cohesion, and third-party threats. Is the European Union there? Is the European Union? Maybe we have a external threat. But are we a cohesive society as a European Union? Are we looking at the same direction? This is a key element at this moment. So for that, 2 principles, and this is really relevant if we're going to talk about tech transfer. The first one is that the whole is much more than the sum of the parts. The question is not, the issue is not adding parts, it's what is the interrelation, what is the relationship between these parts. And the second is that technology transfer is not a linear process. It's a very complex, non-linear process. That means that ecosystems is the key. Ecosystems is the key. And in other words, if we want a vibrant, basic research system and a strong ecosystem and a strong industry for startups, we really need a real European ecosystem, a vibrant, live European ecosystem. Please think a little bit what is the best tool that we have in order to generate this European ecosystem, the real one, European ecosystem. Don't worry, I will tell you. Collaborative projects is the key for the building of the European ecosystem. And we want, and we have, and we should to fight for that. Without collaborative projects, the European innovation ecosystem will never be built. We need this kind of projects. This is the most relevant added value of the European policy of innovation. The most added value is the generation of this European ecosystem that is allowing you to be here today. Because all of you are coming from your countries, and today you are working together here thanks to these collaborative projects. Please don't let them down. So, concerning the general approach in our strategy, first one, we want to overcome the innovation, the vision of one innovation only for the supply side or only for the demand side. We have to match the demand side and the supply side in some kind of, broadly speaking, new structuralist or evolutionist approach. So addressing coordination failures in the innovation ecosystem and promoting bottom-up projects. This is our strategy. So we are going to work together with all the people, creating this density in our Spanish ecosystem and generating this bottom-up approach. So we want to address, and this is really relevant, the intangible elements: trust, communication, participation, transparency. I will repeat, trust. I will repeat again, trust. Trust is really relevant when we are talking about innovation. And we have to respond to the social and geopolitical demands of this moment. So for that, this is the strategic framework for Spain. Is the next generation. At the end, we are at the end of the next generation programs. We have a record funding for R&D, so 22 billion euros in 2023. We have reformed the science and innovation law. We have the Spanish strategy. We have the CDTA strategy. The deep tech strategy is going to be introduced in the coming months. And we have the Industry and Strategic Autonomy Law, which is at this moment in process of approval. What is the role of our regional, our research and development center, the EARTOs? First one, they enable the transfer of basic research to the market, first point. Second point, they offer intellectual, scientific and technological capabilities to the ecosystem. They connect and generate trust. They generate trust, intangibles, communication. I will repeat, trust. And they are critical in order to promote the European dimension of our business innovation in Spain. Spain, at this moment, I'm proud to say that, is the leader country in the Pillar 2 concerning SMEs, thanks to all the technological centers in Spain. So thank you very much for your work. Thank you very much. And finally, I would like to stress with you, to share with you what are our main lines, our main guidelines for this cooperation with EARTOs. First of all, I would like to stress that 1/3 of our projects are contracting technological centers or research centers. We have the Cervera Center program with more than 100 million euros in the last 5 years. We have the funding line of innovation ecosystem, which is aimed to intangibles, is aimed to generate this kind of networks. We are going to implement these ecosystems in the framework of the new complementary plan with concerning the technology transfer. And we have the Cervera projects, which is funding for specific R&D projects that involve EARTO centers. These Cervera projects has mobilized around 188 million in the last 10 years. And additionally, because funding is not everything, funding is not enough, we have the will, and I hope that we are doing that, we have the will to establish some kind of cooperation, dialogue, confidence, trust between the public administrations and the research and development centers. Why this? Because for us, for the CDTI, EARTOs are not a client, are an ally. We are working together. It's not another part. We are part of the same effort, and we want to work with them together. So finally, as I told you before, one of the main elements we have to tackle is productivity, and this is explained by the low technological intensity of our economy. But investing in technology is not enough. Investing in technology is not enough. We need investment also in intangibles, in cooperation, in communication, in, again, trust, in looking in the same direction. This is really important and this is really relevant. So productivity, innovation, and technology are concentrated in a relatively small group of companies. We need more innovative companies, and we need to complete our vision with this systemic vision of all the whole innovation system. So last but not least, and I will never stress enough this point, soft is hard, hard is soft. Without trust, without communication, without the culture, without the ability to work with other people, the European ecosystem is not going to land, and we are going to fail. So we need the technological centers as an ally. We need the technological centers as an active and as an asset in the building of this innovation policy. So thank you very much.
José Moises, stay with us. Thank you so much, José Moises. While the team is placing the tools for the panel, maybe we still have questions for José Moises. So I know he's seated, but we still find a mix if anybody has a question for him. I think maybe I do one remark to you, and I think maybe you want to react still. Mac, you were saying that, the EARTOs in Spain were your ally and not your client. Where do you think they will be your ally the most? Is it on the trust? Is it on the ecosystem building? Is it on the infrastructure? I mean, what is your maybe biggest challenge for the next round where you think what we can offer you at least will be key?
Yes, I think that the most relevant issue that we want to work with them is in the ecosystem. But for that, we need trust. And I will repeat something that I told Laura yesterday, is that we are doing our best in order to build this trust. But in policy, love, if I mean love with the centers, love is shown in the budget.
Wow, I hope the Spanish members are happy today. So show a bit of love to the CTTI colleagues later today. Maybe I sit on the other side, it will be easier. So I'm going to call the panel and present the names. We have until 3, so we're going to be short but powerful. That's all we do. So I call David. David, please come on stage. David is the Innovation Director of the City Council of Valencia. Please, David, come in. We have José Vicente, who is President of the Spanish Chamber of Commerce, but also the Vice President, for the Spanish Chamber of Commerce, but President of the one of Valencia. Thank you, José Vicente. Then we have Laura, the President of FEDIT. FEDIT is the national Spanish EARTO. I think that's the easiest way to present. We have Jesus, our new president. Please, Jesus. And we have, of course, Elisa. Please come in, the General Director for Planning, Coordination and Knowledge Transfer in the Ministry of Science. So a great panel who knows RTOs very well. Some are working with RTOs, some are managing RTOs, some are managing RTOs and also networks of RTOs. Some are helping RTOs to connect with industry, and some are looking at the ecosystem and the trust probably that José Moises was discussing. So I will ask you, and we do one by one, a small pitch. We had 3 questions for you, so we're going to combine the question 1 and the question 2. And most of the questions were a little bit on how did you see the activities you're doing and how do they connect with the RTOs, and maybe what were your challenge and what you were seeing. And then I think we will discuss future, because as José Moises had a good, conclusion on the love and on the budget of which goes with the love. So it will be interesting to see what the next challenges are. So please, the floor is yours first, David.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. First of all, thank you very much for all, and good afternoon. I'm going to say something really simple. I mean, we want to be part, from the city point of view, we want to be part of ecosystems. At the end of all of this process, all of us know that the relevance of the cities is going to be key to test all these kind of technologies. From the last years, the cities, from the municipality point of view, we were always outside of the ecosystem. We are not part of the activities, especially for the innovation or research exactly. But at the end, we know that the population of the world is going to be living on the cities. 70% of the population is going to be living on the cities in 2050. It's not far away from here. It's part of the normal evolution that we are going to see. And in this perspective, we need to be part of the ecosystems. The real challenge, I don't want to use the challenge as an opportunity again, but the key opportunity is to involve the cities in the relationship with the ecosystems and be part of the evolution of the technical centers and open the city to test all the technologies that you want to launch to the citizens. And at the end, we need to improve the quality. The key objective for all of us is exactly the same. We want to improve the quality of the life of the citizens around Europe and around the world, and we can do it.
Super, thanks. So quite some jobs for the Reddit members around here also to look at what you could do then for the city council, probably also an innovation to make your city even more livable. And I remember visiting even the Barcelona, and I remember Rekat giving me, some things that aspire the sun when it's too hot, and so I have a special tire for Spain. I'm sure they have many more from the Reddit innovation that you can find in your city.
Sure.
So maybe it will be interesting to discuss with you at the last coffee for what did they do for you so far. So, Jose Vicente, as the Chamber of Commerce, where do you see, you know, the link with the EARTO? How do you work with the REDIT, and but also at national member with the FEDIT member? And how do you see the challenges of industry that the ones you are trying to connect? I think that's where the Chambers of Commerce are quite active for.
Okay, today is a special day, Trump and technology. I think is very important to connect. Well, the Spanish Chamber of Commerce, together with the National Network of Chambers, advises the public administration. One of our legal responsibilities to promote small and medium-sized enterprises by supporting innovation and technologies transfer, as well as the other areas. I think it's very important. For many years, the Chambers of Commerce have implemented different programs to focus European funds to improve productivity and competitiveness of SMEs companies quickly and efficiently. These programs support industrial businesses, tourist companies, retail, and those which want to extend internationally. Last year, near 1 billion euros from the Next Generation European funds reached over 300,000 companies in digital transformation. Well, in the Valencia region, the gap between public and private investment is great. And this is why the role of REDIT, Technology Center, is more important than ever. It's the largest technology support network in Spain, with the highest number of certified and active laboratories. Companies need to learn how to make the most of it, and we are together and near already.
Very good. Thanks for also advertising the capabilities of our members. So much appreciated. Laura, you're managing an RTO, but you're also the president of FEDIT, and which works always with the regions, but as well with the national context. How do you see our sector today? Because Spain has the most members in EARTO come from Spain, so you see the challenge even firsthand. Spain is a special country in the sense that you have a lot more regionalization, and I'm sure Elisa will come back to that later. So what do you see the sector? How is it transforming? What you hear today? You know, what are your view on how we are going and where directions may come?
You just introduced FEDIT. It was great as the Spanish EARTO. I think it's quite accurate. Just let me give some figures, some numbers about us. We represent a powerful network of 53 technology centers, employing more than 10,500 employees, nearly 1,800 PhDs. And each year we collaborate with over 28,500 companies, especially or mostly SMEs, it's important, and carry out 23,000 research, development, and innovation projects. Well, these are not just numbers. This reflects our mission to make science and technology truly accessible to industry, and what I like to call democratize innovation, you know, to be sure that we access everyone. Our centers are embedded in the local economy, and we understand industrial challenges such as artificial intelligence, quantum computing, sustainable materials, or advanced manufacturing. I'm sure it's something companies wouldn't access if it wasn't for the help of the RTOs. Well, actually, we are proud to say that 50% of the private research and development projects which happens in the public funds, the public calls, are done with the RTOs, the Spanish RTOs. It's quite important. But even more striking as we account just for 10% of the national patents, but we have the income of 48 of the patents. This means one thing, applied, impactful, and economically valuable innovation. Well, and that's just to finish at FIT, what we support our centers in 3 roles. First, we raise their visibility, ensuring their contributions are known and valued. We act as a national and European interlocutor, engaging with ministry as well. We talk a lot with the TI also. With the idea to align policy with industrial needs and reconnect our centers, fostering collaboration, knowledge exchange, and joint strategic initiatives. Because it's like the claim of today, no? Not European tech. I will add, no collaboration, it's no EU competitiveness. So.
Thank you, Laura. So maybe to complement Laura, so Laura had the, FEDIT Spanish RTO club. You're going now to start with the presidency of EARTO. You already had few jobs already since yesterday evening. So the challenge is now yours to help and drive us further. What do you see the challenges will be for the sector? Because it's not only then in Spain, so what Laura was discussing, but also European. We have tariffs. We have a kind of interesting geopolitics where industry will probably try to find solution fast. We have defense where we probably want to have solution fast. So that will probably affect our sector. So how do you see, the challenges, the future, and what we do today, and we probably will do even better later, hopefully?
Thank you, Muriel. Before answering this question, I want, was Moises was talking about love. Okay, so I want to share my feelings with you. And this is regarding Spain first, then later we will go to Europe. I'm very optimistic. I feel optimistic. I'm always optimistic, that's true. But right now I feel optimistic. Why? Because Spain has always been a land of inventors, discoverers, and researchers. The problem is that a long time ago we forgot it. Do you know that the helicopter was invented in Spain? The submarine was invented in Spain. We discovered the blood system. We discovered neurons. We discovered America. We discovered America. They
Are we sure we did? It was the right thing to do.
First Europe, American second. Yeah. We were the first one around the globe. But like one century ago, somebody said one of the saddest things I have ever heard is, let's leave them invent. That was terrible for this country at this moment. But now I think things are changing, and this is very good to know. Why? Because I see the industry in Spain becoming more and more innovative. I see RTOs are gaining size and doing well. And it's true, we have a very fragmented, we lack a critical mass, and there are problems, of course, but I think we are doing well. And the public administration is supporting. And this is a real change for this country, supporting RTOs, because public administration understand what the role of RTOs is in improving the competitiveness of our country. So yes, I am optimistic. And I think also, and I move to the European side, that Europe also needs Spain passion and creativity. So this is what we have to deliver. And then coming back to Europe, two things, only two simple messages from my side. First one is, I think that something that we need to change a little bit on what we do as RTOs is increase, it's not a little bit, a lot, our startup creation capacity. I think this is the best way to help to create a new industry. That doesn't mean we don't have to support the current existing industry, but we need to create the new industry of the future. So I think that startups for RTOs are going to be critical in the future. And the second one is that we need to think a little bit about our main role, or general role. Okay, we are organizations dedicated to medium TRLs, from 3 to 7, most of the time. But this is not the complete value chain. We are something in the middle, and we have to think differently. We have to think that everything starts when a company is deciding not who is going to subcontract in the project, but what is the project? What is the need of the market? What is the technology or the product that they have to develop? And we can help them on that part. Then we can do the research. Then we can transfer to the companies the results. But then we usually stop at TRL 7. And we say, that's over. And now it's the company who has to do the job. This is a mistake, because companies waiting a full solution implemented in Tier L9. So we have to think on ourselves as maybe not to do everything on our own, but to solve all the problems of the value chain on our own. Collaboration is a must, then completely changes the game. So this is, for me, the two big trends that we are going to face.
Okay, so helping the whole value chains. Maybe we don't transform in producer of products, but probably we are still discussing process of production and manufacturing production. That we certainly do. Thank you, Jesus. And Elisa, there is a lot of, I think, government initiatives, and as Jesus was saying, the government in Spain is very supportive of the EARTOs. So I'm sure you have a lot of news to share, and also your views on our sector as well.
So thank you very much. I'm the fourth talking from my government now, so everything is almost solved. I will try to be innovative. No, I'm just joking. I think that we have been talking about really, really important things today. First of all, trust, collaboration, alliances. And one thing that Jesus has already outlined it, and I think that this is something that I want to communicate, is we are now in the government of Spain and also from the public administration supporting EARTOs. We are now creating the framework, but the most important thing is create this kind of relationship. The ecosystem is the most important tool that we have to be resilient as an economy, to be resilient with climate change, to be resilient for the things that we are having in front of us. So we are, of course, doubling the budget, but as Mark has said, the budget and financing is not everything, but we have doubled the budget. It's almost, it's a first step. And at legal level, we have reformed the law, as also Mark has outlined it, but we are also working on a new register of EARTOs. That is a very important thing. It's a very important tool. I know it's not that kind of sexy thing, but it's a very important tool in the sense that all the knowledge transfer offices in Spain are now under the same register. We have a very important tool to analyze, to know how to motivate, and also to work together with them to create a better ecosystem, because I think that the ecosystem is all, and as we have already said, we have a knowledge transfer plan, and we are now working together with regions and also at local level, as David has said, because we know that this is not only a priority for the government at the state level, it should be a challenge, and it should be a priority of the whole country, of the whole Europe. We are here to put in common all these priorities in order to fix all together one strategy, but not as separate or isolated organizations, but one organization, one country, one Europe. That's what we need. So as a country, we are working together with regions, with these plans around new challenges of the country. We want to foster collaboration between regions, at least 4 regions working together around some challenges. This is the complementary plans that the ministry has already outlined. But the most important thing of these plans is that we are not going to design it alone. The regional administration or the local administration or the national administration, we have to design it, and we have to create it, co-create it with the whole ecosystem, with the industry, with the EARTOs, with the academy, we all together, because if not, we are going to fail again. So we need to collaborate, we need to work together, regions, state level and local level together. We are also using this fantastic network of at local level that is called Red Impulso. There is a network of cities for science and innovation, and we are working on knowledge transfer plans. We are working on new innovative solutions, sandboxes, etc. So I think that we have the instruments. We have the political volunteer, because this is also about how the politicians want to foster innovation. And I think we are now on a very difficult phase of our lives, but I am also optimistic, because I think that the union is the only solution.
Thank you, Elisa.
You know that. So we can work together. We are allies. We have the same goals. So we have to share and to work.
It's a very important thing to create personal relationships.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm almost a friend of everybody in this table, and this is the most important thing. I mean, when you create an ecosystem, these trust relationships, you know the people. That's why we are here, I think.
And France says always the truth, even if it's not good. So when we need budget, we ask for budget. When we need something.
That's it.
Good. So maybe up to you. Alors, we have about 15 minutes before we're closing in. So we had Matthias making jokes this morning about the genie in the bottle. Unfortunately, I don't think the EARTOs they've already invented the genie, so I don't have an EARTO genie to say, hey, let's fix the system we are in. However, I do believe that we are all working very hard in the different positions we have to try to improve the system. If you're looking at, and I think, we are discussing a lot of the startups. Sometimes I always say the startups are a little bit the top of the bottle, is the very visible aspects of what RTOs are doing. So, and we discussed the collaborative research, so saying it is important. We have discussed there was many changes that will appear in the European environment. You're announcing quite some changes which are very supportive in Spain. We don't know if we will get the same level of support in the next, EU budget. So that's mean the actors we are working with, that it be the city council or the chambers of commerce, will have to help us also in our European environment. In your view, where, and that's maybe more for David and José Vicente and Elisa, and then I will come to the two of you for the RTO's perspective. Where do you think, and that was what José was saying, love and trust, but where do you think that the capabilities that you have, for example, of Reddit in Valencia, will be the most key to the changes you are aiming in your system? So for your system is your city, when your chambers of commerce is the support to industry, as a ministry is your ecosystem. What is the key value, the added value that RTOs are adding that you don't find somewhere else? And where we are so very specific and special, that this is something that you think, will be probably the key of success to the future. So, I know it's a tough question, it's not prepared.
You give me the floor?
Please
You
do,
give me the
David.
floor?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to start in this case. In this case, I'm going to speak from Valencia point of view, from Valencia city point of view. We are using the global brand that Valencia Innovation City, or at the end, it's more related with the comments for all of the table. No, we are creating a different kind of tools. From the city point of view, I think that at the end, we need to try to create this relationship or these alliances with different sectors, private, public sector, and in many cases we need to explain to the sectors, so to the research centers and so on, that not in all the cases we are going to buy the final solution. I mean, we are going to open the doors, we are going to test all the solutions, we are going to put the grants, we are going to put the public innovation procurement. We have a lot of different kind of tools, but not always the public institutions are going to buy the final solution from the city or from the industry and so on. We are going to help, but think that you can test something, you can use the city of Valencia to test something, but the world is your business. Not only the Valencia city is your business, because in many cases we are creating a strong relationship with some companies, but the company is thinking always that at the end of the process, the only buyer is our city. That is not always possible. It's not always possible. I think that's one of the key elements. I'm totally sure that Elisa is going to say about it, that it's we can help from the city point of view. We can help to improve the transfer of the knowledge. This is key. This is key from my point of view, because at the end of the process, we have the capability to connect directly with the citizens in many different kind of ways. We need to find the best way to do it, to improve or to try to obtain to establish the best benefit for the company, the best benefit for the city, the best benefit for the public administration. But think on the transfer, because at the end of the process, we are in touch with the citizens, and we can help you for the transfer of the knowledge from the cities, from the universities, to the research centers, and to the market. This is the key, from my point of view, from the city's point of view. Help at the end of the process, at the transfer moment.
Super. Okay. Thank you for that. And José Vicente, what do you see? Or maybe what when you partners with RTOs to help SMEs, and what do you see the value of RTOs is? Where do we are the most active for you?
Bien. we are working with the micro companies and with the small companies. They need innovation. Medium companies, large companies, different. But we have many problems with the micro companies. And we have many things to do. For example, update the definitions of innovation used to access public support, simplify the process for accessing tax incentives and deductions, the red tape. We need to increase the amount and duration of funding for employing staff. We also need to attract international talent, and more for the small and medium-sized companies. Improve the funding condition for business investments. A capital markets union in the European Union would be a strong support for framework. Valencia is a special city now. We have the port near here. We have the universities. We have many things to decide to be here. The Town Hall and the Chamber of Commerce were the agency to the invest in Valencia. And most of them are in the digital economy. But we also want to have industry, because the future now, at the beginning I talking about Trump and the technology. We need to change. We need to understand Draghi and Letta. Draghi in the productivity and competitiveness, and Letta in the single market. And this is very important for innovation, because only with the single market in Europe it's not necessary to have the large problem today with the exports. As USA, because they have a market with 300 million, and we have here 500 million. And we need to reduce the red tape, the regulations. Always at the end is innovation. Always is to have a big market, and it's possible. And we need to convince the small companies it's possible to innovate through, for us, for Valencia, or for Spain, Reddit.
Okay.
Investing in world-class research and technology infrastructures, and Reddit is one of them.
Yeah, so quite some investments, so not only investments, but also investments in the technology infrastructure. Maybe I do Elisa, and then we'll do Laura, and then you will close, because I see the time, we don't have so much time. So you will do the final word, but the closing at the same time, Jesus, if you don't mind. So Elisa, if we're looking at the capabilities of all the FEDIT members, which of course include the Reddit members, where do you see the key challenges will be for us, but also in terms of policymaker, where do you think that you're going to, look at the different, we all say, buttons to adapt your policymaker. So you have to think in terms of policy making, and what are the challenges for you regarding our sector?
So I think that all the interventions before, I can only agree with them, because they are part of my ecosystem, and they all are right, and they are part of the strategy of the government. The Spanish ecosystem is a very particular one, because as it was outlined before, we have a lot of SMEs and also micro enterprise, and we have those enterprises are compared to the other countries in the European Union. They have a very low investment on research and innovation. That's true. We have also detected the low capability of contracting doctors in enterprises. It's also it's a thing something we have to think, and that's why we also promote industrial doctorates and those kind of things. And a third thing that I want to outline of our ecosystem is enterprises tend to work alone, very isolated. This is from the demand side. So I think that to work on this demand side, EARTOs are very, very important. One of the most important elements of our ecosystem, because they connect and they tend to work with these SMEs and micro enterprises, and they offer them the kind of solution, technological solutions. They work together, not only designing technological solutions for them, but also working on future technology solutions. And I think that's very, very important. In the side of the offer, that is also something that we have to think about on the supply. We are working on some incentives that is called Sexenio de Transferencia. We are working on concrete incentive, financial incentives to researchers on the academy side and on the public research system to incentivize them to make knowledge transfer projects, to collaborate with industry, to return to the society. It's not only about the industry or private sector, it's for the whole society. I think that's very important. And I think that something is also very important thing that Jose Vicente has also said is we need to attract talent. Spain has also put in place some programs as Atrae. There's a program to attract researchers, the best researchers in Europe, but also outside. And I think that we have now an opportunity to attract this talent, but we have to give them opportunities, real opportunities. So just to finish, I think that as David has said, working together and also the local level is, even for me, that I'm working in this beautiful place of Madrid, but on a very high tower of Cuzco, I can be just looking into my window, say, look, this is Madrid and the whole of Spain. No, I have to come here, I have to go to the cities, I have to understand their needs, because only understanding the needs of the industry, of the territory, of the municipalities, we can make something useful for our ecosystem, for our economy, for our society, and also for Europe. And as you know, we are also working in Europe on this research infrastructure and technology infrastructures, and Spain is leading this debate from the member state side, and I think that we have a lot of challenges there, and I think that we can design a better future also for EARTOs within this debate in Europe. So let's make together.
Super. So I think for the panel, Laura, you get the last words, and then we will let Jesus close the final words for all. So Laura, what do you think, for FEDIT will be the next challenge or the work of the coming year? Let's put it that way.
Okay. So I don't have too much time, but just I wanted to add something that what's the RTO's role? No? How can we help companies? Jose Vicente started saying that when Elisa also. We are dealing with small, medium enterprises. What we are doing for them is we are giving them trust, love, and collaboration also. But we are giving them access to knowledge, to innovation. We are taking the risk out and helping them to be competitive. I think that's really important, and we must do it through the collaboration. We are at the same level with policymakers, with Chamber of Commerce, Valencian region, and we have to take advantage of it. And for the future, well, I'm realistic. I think we have a lot of challenges. We have Trump each day saying something different. Yesterday was especially hard. We have the next framework program, so it's going to be a challenge, but I'm sure we have to do it. Whatever we need to do, we need to do it together with the collaboration. I think we have the will. Someone just said it before. We have the will, we have the talent, and we have to take advantage and face it. So I'm realistic but optimistic also.
Super. I see two optimistic managers of RTOs. That sounds good for our sector. Thank you so much to all of you. A big clap for the panel, please. And we're going to let Jesus do the final words. Thank you very much.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are reaching the end. I know some of you are eager to go to the airport to take your flights back home, and others, the smartest ones, to spend some time during the weekend in the city of Valencia. So I tried to be short on my speech, but then they told me that I had to make a personal summary of the annual conference. So this is a difficult thing, to be short on this, and at the same time to be better and to demonstrate that I can do better than the artificial intelligence. So let's see if I'm able to do that. Okay. First thing is to extend my gratitude to all the EARTO members and partners for joining us here in the city of Valencia. I think that your engagement and your insights have truly been the backbone of this successful event. A special thanks to the Reddit Innovation Network for their hospitality in Valencia, and also for the very well-organized event and for taking care of everything and every small detail that matters. So through the sessions, we have gained deeper insights into the role of European RTOs in shaping EU competitiveness and explore implementing European policies. We heard Teresa at the beginning of the day explaining that Europe always reacts, although slowly, to cooperate. The needs that we have for talent and the challenge of defense. But she also stressed, and I take this as an important step for EARTO, that EARTO is a very good advisor for public administration and for the Spanish public administration. Then Alexander was talking about the scale-ups and the problem of non-EU investments on those through a very specific case where money came from the United States, something that we have to change. Then Joao made a very good example from science to startups using some of the European Union tools and the challenges of the deep tech ventures that are going to be so important for our future. And I quote, "It takes a whole village to raise a child." Camila then explained 3 cases of the long road to real applications and the need to create the motto of EARTO, impact delivery. And I quote, "No tech, no EU competitiveness." Then Gonzalo made an explanation on the economical and social impacts of RTOs, and also about Reddit Ventures and what they are doing and the outcomes, the first outcomes they are obtaining. Then Davide talked about the strategic autonomy and the STEP program and the MFF and the European Competitiveness Plan. And he stressed the need for simplicity and that the EU will be driven not by programs but by policies. But also he stressed limited funds, so less love for everyone. Then Andrea made an overview of the landscape of aviation. As an example, he stressed the need for breakthrough innovations instead of incremental innovation, and he gave us the recipe to focus, to avoid fragmentation, to simplification, and to cooperation with member states as the meal that we have to prepare in Europe. That's good to hear that if this is the way the European Commission is trying, the pathway they are trying to follow, we will be on the table, but not on the menu, and this is good to know. I have the feeling that after hearing all their speeches, that we know, RTOs know all about the Death Valley of research and innovation, but that we want to help the European Commission in this Death Valley of policy making. Then the Minister of Science and Innovation of Spain stressed the effort that the country is doing and the improvement of the country, especially regarding competitiveness and employment. And the General Manager of the CDTI highlighted some of the key factors that Europe may need to improve its competitiveness. There are a lot of things that he said that I would like to react, but as time is running, I will keep only that technology transfer is not a linear process. It is an ecosystem which needs collaborative projects based on trust. And then there is the final roundtable, so I'm not going to quote myself. I keep the words of Elisa. R&D should be a priority for the whole society. 2025, EARTO will continue to strengthen RTO positioning as a key player in Europe. We will work to ensure the next EU plans fully exploit our capacities. Thank you to all involved in making this event a success, speakers, moderators, conference organizational team, and a great audience, of course, and especially to the EARTO staff, Muriel, Khadija, and the rest of the team for the great job. And just to finish, a gentle reminder that there is an upcoming event coming in Brussels, the EARTO Innovation Awards and Policy event in Brussels, the 14th of October 2025, where we will continue celebrating the 25th anniversary of EARTO. See all you soon. Have a safe trip back home.